Now is the time to let your bat and your bowling do the talking. No more should you have any complaint whether you should be in the West Indies team or not. You now have a glorious opportunity to knock very hard on the door as Justin Greaves have just completed his second CG United Super 50 of the West Indies Cricket Tournament in 2024. No doubt he's knocking very hard on the door. We are here today to watch the match along with you, where Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are playing the Windward Islands Volcanoes at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarouba, Trinidad. The Red Force won the toss and asked the Volcanoes to take first strike. And after 4.1 overs, the Volcanoes are 15 for 1. Alec Atanese going bold, his half stump knocked back once again as he played down the wrong line by Goolie. He was gone for 9. Since then, Solozano have made 3 and Kavem Hodge have also made 3. No extra have been conceded yet by the Trinidad Red Force. The score is 15 for 1 after 4.2 overs. Hello everyone, welcome to the live watch along of the Windward Island Volcanoes against the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. It's my pleasure to be here with you. I want to give those who are listening to the commentary, who are unable to watch the match, a big shout out. Phillips is it, and this is his third over. He have bowled 2.2 overs thus far and have taken none for 11. Kavem Hodge remains on 3. Solozano is also on 3. One extra now, the score moves up to 16 for 1 in over number 5. So Goolie has taken the wicket. On the screen there is the Windward Island Volcanoes team. Alec Atanese, Jeremiah Solozano, Sunil Ambris, who is the captain, Kavem Hodge, Shadrack Descartes, Shamar Springer, Dylan Douglas, Daryl Cyrus, Gillan Tyson, Kenneth Denver, and Ryan John. So Phillips into Hodge, short, cut away, down backward of point for 4. So it was short and it was cut away to the left of the backward point fielder. No chance, no one move. Into the boundary it goes for 4. 4 lovely runs there by Kavem Hodge. And so the Windward Island Volcanoes score have gone up to 20 for 1 in over number 5. 20 for 1 in over number 5. Anderson Phillips, not his best bowling spell. Give you the feel I'm seeing a short third man. Are you could, I don't think he's quite that short third man. He's probably at a deep third slip. Phillips over the wicket, bowls to Hodge, who covers up and played it back down the pitch to the bowler who field, and there is no run. So I'm gonna call him a deep third slip, a backward point, a cover, and a mid off. Then there's a mid on, there's a mid wicket, and a short fine leg. There's a man on the backward square leg boundary, and there's a third man. So that's the field. So let's go again. A deep third slip, a third man, backward point cover, mid off, mid on, mid wicket, short fine leg, and a fielder on the backward square leg boundary. 1 to come in over number 5. Phillips over the wicket, bowls to Hodge. That one came back in shortly, got the inside edge. It goes away down to short fine leg. They go through for a single. So 1 more to the total at the end of over number 5. It's 21 for 1. Alec Atanese is a batsman out, gone, bowled by Goolie for 9. Off stump, knocked back once again. Continues to show that he doesn't know where his off stump is. He hit 2 lovely 4s, but then once the ball pitched in that area of uncertainty, coming into him. He pushed forward and his off stump has been knocked back. I thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Let me give you the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force playing 11. And this team is captained by Joshua da Silva. So Jai Goolie, Kjorn Ottley, and Goolie is the one bowling now short, pulled away by Hodge down towards fine leg, 4 runs. So it was short, he got down on one knee and just basically helped it away down to the fine leg boundary for 4. So that will take him up now to 12, and the score will move up to 25 for 1. 25 for 1, Solozano is on 3, Atane is gone for 9. So let's watch this delivery. This as he comes in, there's a slip short. He punch it back to the bowler who field. There is no run. The score remains at 25 for 1. Goolie is it, the right arm off spinner. He has a slip. He comes in now over the wicket, bowls to Hodge, and Hodge defends to that field at mid-wicket, and there is no run. So I can tell you there's a slip, a short fine leg, and a mid-wicket. I can tell you that right now. Just some adjustment being made in the field, and Hodge pulling away. It's something. Is there something in Goolie eyes? He's over the wicket, bowls to Hodge, taken on the pad. Let's see, missing. The umpire said missing as the off break turned back in very sharply. Let's watch this replay. Wow, that looks very close to me. That's looked very, very close to me. Let's watch Goolie again. He comes in now, bowls to Atane short. Not Atane's, to Hodge, who pulls it to short fine leg. It was a similar delivery to the one he hit for 4, but this time he played it a little earlier and picked out the short fine leg. Maybe it was closer to the stump than the previous one. Goolie to Hodge, and Hodge on the back foot and defense out into the offside, and there is no run. So after 6 overs, the Windward Islands Volcanoes are 25 for 1. 25 for 1 after 6 overs. Hodge is on 12. Solozano is on 3. The batsman out, Alec Atane, is bowled by Goolie for 9. So, Jai Goolie, Kjorn Ottley, Tion Webster, Jason Mohammed, the veteran, Khary Pierre, Yannic Cariah, Amir Jangoo, Joshua da Silva, Phillips, Joshua James, and Terrance Hinds. That's a very strong Trinidad and Tobago Red Force playing 11. So I really, Merrick, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Merrick. Happy to have you here. Yes, Michael Douglas, thank you. I've said it. Merrick Meredith said, Leeward Islands looking quite formidable in the early stages of the competition. Anderson Phillips over the wicket, bowls to the left-handed Solozano, guide this, open the face of the bat and guide it down to third man for a single, pushing up the score now to 26 for 1. Yeah, they are looking good. How many they made? I recall when they were 260. They were 260, but there was about 3 or 4 overs remaining. What was the final score that they made, that they would have made? And I'm happy for Justin Greaves. 2 consecutive centuries. Phillips bowls to Hodge, who played it out into the offside. There is no run. Justin Greaves is probably one of those players who have never been given an extended run, or is usually injured when the time is there for him to get that extended run. He's just one of those cricketers who never seem to be given the opportunity that he probably deserves. Persons who have scored far fewer runs than him and less consistent than him have gotten more opportunities than him. Anderson Phillips bowled short to Hodge, who pivoted it and played it into the man and that backward square leg, and he's out. So that was short by Anderson Phillips. Kavem Hodge looking to play his favorite pull shot. It hit high up on the bat and just lobbed to the man on the deep backward square leg boundary, and Hodge goes for 12. The score is 26 for 2 after 6.3 overs. It was short. He decided to hit it up. It never came out of the screw, and it went straight into the man and so he's gone. So that's the second Windward Islands wicket going down. Patrick Lambert, how are you, Patrick Lambert? How is your friend? How is Stephen Roach? I hope he's well. I do hope that he's well, Patrick Lambert. Is he well? And Patrick Lambert is saying, Alec again getting out playing on the back foot instead of playing on the front foot. Was he on the back foot though, Patrick Lambert? I think he pushed forward but just played on the wrong line. Was he on the back foot? I'm trying. My mind is telling me that he was on the front foot, but he pushed forward again, playing down the wrong line. Or he was probably caught on the crease. I'm trying to remember the dismissal. But I know for certain that he played the wrong line. So Patrick is saying that they made 285. Thank you. Thank you very much, Patrick. 285 that the Leeward Islands Hurricane would have made. As I pointed out earlier, Justin Greaves made a splendid another 100 for him in this tournament. He continues to perform very well. It was his second consecutive 100. 284 for 5. They made 284 for 5. And this played that away off the back foot. And Barbados Royals in reply. In a spot of bother, they are now 18 for 2 with Zachary McCaskey and Kevin Wickham at the crease. McCaskey's on 6 and Kevin Wickham is on 1. Kyle Byers left to come. So the Leeward Islands, 112 from 131 deliveries from Justin Greaves, a strike rate of just about 85. The young man who bats at 3, Hughes, his 52 came off 48 deliveries, and that was good to see. Then Raheem Cornwall made 7 from 5. Kofi James 34 from 17. He had a strike rate of 200. Anderson Phillips bowls to Ambris, taken on the pad. That one high, going over the stump, not out, said the umpire. That one clearly going over the stump. You know, I'm seeing Anderson Phillips chain more than how I'm seeing Anderson Phillips. It's a very big gold chain that he's sporting. But I'm seeing the chain more than him. It just popped out at you. So 20 for 2 there, Barbados Pride in reply to 284 for 5. So that's the situation there. 284 for 5. So Patrick Lambert was correct. Welcome. This is a live watch-along of the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Anderson Phillips bowls short to Ambris, who pulls. He ensured that he rolled his wrist over it, and it goes straight to the man on the square leg boundary for a single. The score is now 27 for 2 at the end of over number 7. I recalled in the days when, not too long ago, when there was this clamor for Athanaze to be included in the West Indies team. Before the season that he had in 2023, I was often challenged when I said that he has not done anything to be included in the West Indies team. His average then after playing 6 or 7 years of regional first-class cricket was still just about 28. He had a wonderful 2022 Super 50 where he scored 2 centuries and followed up that in the regional first-class season 2023 where he made over 600 runs. Then my position changed. Over the wicket comes Goolie, bowls to Ambris, who played it to square leg, and there's no run. Then obviously my position is going to change because the facts change. He had a magnificent season. And he was included in the West Indies team, and I think that when he was included in the West Indies team, it was the right decision. Goolie bowls to Ambris, who defend on the offside of the pitch. But we are now seeing that apart from that one season, towards the back end of 2022, comes into 2023, when he made all those runs, we are seeing serious technical issues with Athanaze. And so after all those 7 years, we are now seeing the reason why he was averaging only 28. He probably have all the shots in the book. But if you do not have a solid enough defense to keep out the good balls, you will not stay at the crease long enough to play those shots. He must work out where his off stump is if he wants to be a highly performing batsman at the international level. Without working out where that off stump is, he's not going to be successful at the international level. I wish the young man all the best, and I hope he puts in the work and sort out that flaw. Goolie bowls to Solozano, who cuts it away to the man at backward point. There is no run. One delivery to come in over number 8. So one delivery to come. As that one was played down to long on, and they will get an easy singer. So the score moves up to 29 for 2. So Michael Douglas was saying Alec Athanaze wasn't on his back foot. He never came forward enough either. Yes, that's the point I was making, that he was forward, but he was caught on the crease. Exactly what I was saying. He basically stuck on the crease and pushed his bat. I agree with you. So at the end of over number 8, it's now 29 for 2. So Patrick Lambert, you are the best of Patrick Lambert. Speaking about Stephen Roach, Patrick Lambert is saying, I have no clue of his whereabouts. We might have to put out a search party to locate him. We are calling Stephen Roach. Where's Stephen Roach? We are calling Stephen Roach. As Solozano defends that delivery from Anderson Phillips into the offside, and there is no run. So we are calling out Stephen Roach. Where is he? It is when a senior citizen in this community, as Stephen Roach is a senior citizen, is well in his 70s, maybe even in his 80s. When we're not hearing from them, we become concerned, because we want to know that everything is okay. We want to know that. Anderson Phillips over the wicket comes in, bowls to Solozano, who plays this into mid-wicket, left of the field at mid-wicket, which allows them to go through for a single. The Windward Islands Volcanoes are 30 for 2 after 8.2 overs. Ambris is on 2, Solozano is on 6. This Windward Islands Volcanoes team, despite the early loss of wickets, you cannot write them off. We saw that they bat deep. We saw that they bat very deep. And we recall that wonderful victory against the Guyana Harpy Eagle on Tuesday. Phillips over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, edge, drop short of first slip. The score remains at 30 for 2. Good stop there by Is that Webster at, you wouldn't say first slip, probably a second or a third slip. Who's that fielder there? I wouldn't know him. It didn't quite carry to him. He took it off the bunks. Was that fielder at first slip? May I see the name on his shirt? Not seeing the name on his shirt. Michael Douglas, can you tell me who's that fielder at first slip? Ambris Seckers. Phillip now. 4.3 overs, 1 for 19 over the wicket. Bowls to Ambris, allows it to go through outside the off stump, no run. Score remains at 30 for 2. So we do not know the whereabouts of our good friend Stephen Roach. We hope that he will join us soon. You know, we appreciate the banter. He always provided some very, very good banter. That's Stephen Roach. Ambris is on 2. Solozano is on 6. 30 for 2 after 8.4 overs. The stand is empty. I saw cricket Anderson Phillip bowl to Ambris, who turned this away down to find like a diving stop by Cariah, but cannot prevent the singer. The score moves up to 31 for 2. A diving stop there by Cariah. As Ambris turned that away, Solozano will come in to strike now. I saw a release from Cricket West Indies talking about price of ticket. Is it for these? I know these matches were like about $3 to get into them. I saw they're saying about a reduction in the price of tickets. Is it the West Indies series? Yes. No, that's a different thing there. Is it about this series or is it about the bowls pitched up York? Solozano dug it out and there is no run. At the end of over number 9, Phillip have bowled 5 overs, 1 for 20. The score is now 31 for 2 and he's calling for a towel to wipe off his face. I recall the great West Indies fast bowlers of the past. They used to wear those armband and they will mop their brow with it. Nowadays, players need towels. Wow. Do each player have their individual towel or all of them just use the same towel? And oh my God. I hope not. I hope they have individual towels and their labor. All that sweat from everybody. Oh man, that can't be good. Okay, so they've reduced the prices for the matches that are being played in Barbados. That's the series against England, the white ball series. So Cricket West Indies have reduced those prices. Probably the ticket sales is not going as they expected it to do. Thank you, Michael Douglas, pointing out that Jangoo is feeling at first. Well, it's not first slip. It's wider than first slip. So thank you very much, Michael Douglas. Goolie bowls to Ambris, who turned that into the onside. 1 more to the total. 37 now for 2 after 9.2 overs. So just showing there that Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are at the top of the table. Oh, they are showing most wins in Super 50 over the years. And Trinidad and Tobago Red Force have won 138 of their matches. Goolie bowl short to Solozano, who played the forcing shot to mid-off, and there is no run. Jamaica is just about 56%. Well, actually 56%. We have won 115 from 212. Goolie round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, who played it back down the offside of the pitch to the bowler, who field, and there is no run. So there's a reduction in the price of tickets. Goolie bowls to Solozano. That one was short. He played it to mid-wicket, but he should have definitely put that away That was a long up, but he chose to play to the straight bat to mid wicket. And again, there is no run, but that was definitely short. He should have put that away. Goolie, round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, short. He cuts it, but cannot beat cover, moving smartly to his right. Again, there is no run, and after 10 overs, the Windward Island Volcanoes put into bat by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. They are 36 for 2. So the prices for the tickets for the Barbados leg of the England tour have been reduced. Clearly, ticket sales probably are not going as well as Cricket West Indies would have expected them to go. As a result, they have reduced the price of ticket for that leg. So CWI announces specially reduced ticket prices for Barbados match. Or is it again that wonderful Prime Minister getting involved and saying that you should not be selling the tickets so expensive? Is it not the case? So you have tickets from an high of $40 for the Barbados leg on Wednesday, $40, and to a low of $7. That's in the open stand. So the 3 double stand, the upper deck and the lower deck is $40, which is 80 Barbados dollars. The Hall and Griffith stands is $25, which is 50 Barbados dollars. Greenwich and Ain stands $30. Hewitt and Innis stand, that's $20. And the open stand where you're in the sun is $7. So there's a reduction in the price of ticket. If there's a reduction in the price of ticket, what were they before? If those are the reduced price, but very interesting. So Patrick Lambert is saying, I'm a strong supporter of Alec, but maybe his head is getting too heavy for his body. He's gradually sliding down the slope. Well, it's Patrick Lambert said so, not me. So you can't blame it. Pierre comes in, bowls to Solozano, beaten outside the half stump as he pushes at that one, lost his balance. It goes through to the keeper, and there is no run. 37 for 2. Windward Island Volcanoes were put into bat by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Pierre bowls to Solozano, who covers up and played it down the offside of the pitch. There is no run. The score remains at 37 for 2. Khary Pierce bowling over the wicket. The left-arm orthodox spinner bowling to the left-handed Solozano. He's up, bowl to Solozano, who stand up straight, allows that to turn into him and then force it back down the pitch to the bowler. And there is no run. Solozano is on 6 from 24 deliveries. Ambris is on 9 from 13. So there's a short third man, a backward point, extra cover, short fine leg, and a mid-wicket. Outside the half stump, cut away to that man at backward point, and there is no run. Clearly, Khary Pierce bowling slower and slower here. So there's a man on the long off boundary, and there's another on the cover boundary. There's also a deep backward square leg on the boundary and a long on. Pierre bowls to Solozano, and he's caught on the crease as he forced back that down the pitch to the bowler. So only one run from the over. At the end of over number 11, the Windward Island Volcanoes were asked to take first strike by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, who won the toss. And after 11 overs, they are 37 for 2 with Ambris on 9, Solozano on 6. So absolutely probably just a man and his friend. I don't see any man and his dog as yet, but you recall the days when there's just a man and his dog used to turn up to watch the match. Yes. So what do you think about Evan Lewis innings last night? We saw where Gudakesh Moti was given the man of the match award, the player of the match award. The live chat last night said that it should have been gone to Lewis. So Goolie to continues wide down the leg side, wide signal by the umpire. The score moves up to 38 for 2. Ambris is on strike, the right-handed captain of the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Goolie bowls to Ambris, who comes on the front foot and play a forcing shot down to long off for a singer, pushing the score up now to 39 for 2. He moves up to 10. So he would have moved up to 10. Solozano is on 6, comes into strike. The score is 39 for 2. Goolie in his 6th over, 5.1 over, 1 for 17. Patrick Lambert said, I will not be surprised. Round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, who plays a forcing shot to extra cover, and there is no run. I will not be surprised if she got involved because she's a strong supporter and knows the game inside out. Round the wicket comes Goolie, who played this into the offside again. There is no run. The score remains. Well, they go through for a single. Sorry about that. I thought that it was no run. I wasn't seeing the batsman running. So maybe I need to wait a little longer then. And I said that because the fielder never rushed the ball. And to where the ball went, it should never have been an easy singer. So I thought that the approach of the fielder towards the ball suggests to me then that it would have been no run. Goolie round the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who defends down the inside of the pitch, and there is no run. The score remains at 40 for 2 after 11.4 overs. 40 for 2. Yes, let's watch Goolie round the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who drives down to long off for a singer. The score will now move up to 42 for 2. So Ambris there just driving that one down to long off for a singer. So one delivery to come in over number 12 with Solozano on 7. Ambris on 11. Round the wicket, bowls to Solozano down the pitch, drive back to the bowler who misfield, but the ball never went far enough from him for them to go through for a single. After 12 overs, the score is 41 for 2. Ambris is on 11 and Solozano is on 7. So Patrick Lambert is saying, I will not be surprised if she got involved because she's a strong supporter and knows the game inside out. Yes, it could well be that she has gotten involved. Ashik Mohammed is saying, Red Force is a force to be reckoned with. Well, maybe so, but until they face Jamaica, when we face Jamaica, that red is going to come off the force and leave you only with the red because there'll be no force when the scorpions start to bite you. Pierre bowls to Ambris, who played this down to long off for a singer. The score moves up to 42 for 2 after 12.1 overs. So when the scorpions start to sting you, young man, Ashik Mohammed, scorpions start to sting you, you will have no force leave. So you may well be a force until you meet up on Jamaica. But we are going to deal with all of your case. Barbados was just lucky on Wednesday. Pierre bowls to Solozano down the pitch, drive this one to mid-off. Again, there is no run. The score remains at 42 for 2 after 12.2 overs. There's a slip goes down round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, turn this to mid-wicket. The fielder skipped to his left and field. Again, there is no run. The score is at 42 for 2 after 12.3 overs. Solozano have used up all of 31 deliveries for his 7 runs. He has to get going, man. Pierre bowls to Solozano, drives down to long on for a single. He moves up now to 8. The score moves up to 43 for 2. 43 for 2. He needs to do more of that. He needs to play the ball in the gap and gets the singers. There's a lot of gap in the outfield. There are 4 fielders on the boundary plus a slip. So he should not be banged down like that. Short edge by Ambris. Pass first slip. Running away towards the third man boundary. Got there now 4 runs. So he was off the back foot looking to play a forcing shot. It nicked the outside edge but wide of first slip and runs away to the third man boundary for 4. 47 for 2 with 1 to come in over number 13. So it was short, edge away, pass first slip, down to the boundary for 4. So welcome boundary for the Windward Island Volcanoes. Pierre. Round the wicket, bowls to Ambris, and Ambris off the back foot strokes it into the offside cover field. There is no run. The score is at 47 for 2 at the end of over number 13. So Ashik Mohammed is saying, don't worry, my brother. We have the antidote and we eat scorpion down here, lol. Do they eat scorpion in Trinidad? Is that true, Patrick Lambert? Is that true, Michael Douglas? Do they eat scorpion in Trinidad? Wow. Oh, my Lord. Wow. Ashik, seriously? You guys eat scorpion in Trinidad? Wow, wow, wow. Wow, that's very, very interesting to learn that you guys actually eat scorpions in Trinidad. Well, then we'll have now to inject, put some injection in the scorpions that when you bit on them, that there's something else will just explode in your body. And just the force that you have, it will just explode away and it will just be destroyed. Do they really eat scorpions in Trinidad? You know, I have a very good friend from Trinidad. I'm going to give her a call right now and see. I'm going to give her a call right now because I can't believe that they eat scorpion in Trinidad. I can't believe it. Very surprising to me that they eat scorpion in Trinidad. So I'm looking for my friend number here. She's from Trinidad. I hope she answers. I'm really looking. As they showed, yes, he was definitely caught on the crease. And so it's a drinks break. So I'm listening. You have reached the voice. Okay, well, she's not answering. Oh, Ashik, Ashik Mohammed, you're frightening me, man. You're frightening me. It's just the banter. You're frightening me there for a while, Ashik. Oh, so Ashik Mohammed said, lol, it's just good banter. We don't eat. Oh. Oh, well done. Well, boy, Ashik, man, you really rocked me, you know, man. That was a brilliant one. I love it. I love it, Ashik. I love it, Ashik. Well done. So after 13 overs, a drinks break after 13 overs. So these players are really going slowly. We have seen in other 50-over tournaments, other 50-over matches, the drinks break is after 17 overs and so on, you know. And in this match is after 13 overs. So my friend there from Trinidad, she never answered, but Ashik makes it up, you know. Ashik boy, you have me soft. So there's a warning here for Pierre, who is running on the pitch. That pitch looks very, very dry. Absolutely very, very dry. So why does the spinner need to run on the pitch? Is he roughing up one end so that he can go back to the other end, or is roughing up for Yannic Cariah? I'm really looking forward to see Cariah bowling. Goolie in his 7th over bowls to the left-handed Solozano, who played it out to cover backward point, and there is no run. 47 for 2. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force winning the toss and asked the Windward Islands Volcanoes to take first strike, and they are 47 for 2. Atanez and Kavem Hodge are the 2 batsmen who have been dismissed. After 13.2 overs, Ambris is 16. Solozano is 8 from 34 deliveries. 47 for 2. Goolie in his 7th over, bowling his off spinners round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, who rocks back on his back foot but cannot beat backward point once again. The score remains at 47 for 2 in over number 14. 13.3. And Ambris is just going down to have a word with Goolie, with Solozano, and asking him just to relax. Just to relax. It would be surprise, or you will see how much more easier it becomes if he's just tip and running. Goolie round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, as that one came back into him and he forced it back to the bowler down the pitch, and there is no run. Just tip and run and get your body moving. Tip and run, get your body moving, angle the balls in the gap and so on. And get going. Here is Goolie. Round the wicket, bowls to Solozano. Short, cut away, straight to backward point again. He cannot score. The score remains at 47 for 2. And he's really not batting well, because that ball, even if he did not hit it away, he should have picked the gap. Bowls to Solozano, drives. Final delivery down to the long off for a single. 48 for 2 at the end of over number 14. If I was Ambris, I would be livid. And Ambris is livid. He turned his back on him just now. He turned his back on him. Just as he started walking to him, he turned his back on him and then probably say, that lets me go down to the pitch and talk to him. But initially, he turned his back on him. Michael Douglas is saying Solozano is currently going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. He needs to take a risk or 2. He's currently stalling the innings. I do not necessarily think that he needs to take a risk or 2, Michael. What I think, because if you look at that field, there's a man at straight mid-wicket, and there's no one else in the circle on the onside. He's down the pitch, clipped it to the right of straight mid-wicket, down to the long-on boundary for a single. I do not think that he needs to take any risk. What I think that he needs to do is show some skills, pick the gaps, get the ones, get the twos, run hard, and eventually he will start now hitting the boundaries. Khary Pierre round the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who's forward, played it back down the pitch to the bowler, who field, and there is no runs. So what he needs to do, in my opinion, forget that you are 10 from 29 balls. Just think about it like you just start your innings. And just pick the gap and just picking up the singles. Bowls to Ambris, who played this away down to the fielder, running around from the long off boundary. That's the 50 for the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Ambris getting another single as he played it, this time again to the right of that man at extra cover, down to the fielder on the long off boundary for a single. Pierre over the wicket, bowls to Solozano, who drives extravagant shot straight to the man at extra cover. And what he needed was to just pick the ball in the gap, tip and run. Pierre bowls to Solozano, turn this to the right of the man at mid-wicket. It goes down to the field on the long-on boundary. One more to the total, 51 for 2. So I think that he thinks that, I need to make up it right away. But he doesn't need to make it up right away. What he needs to do is to now limit the dot balls that he faces and look to run 1 and 2. Bowl to Ambris, who look to play that into mid-wicket and run. So Ambris there was looking to tip and run. That's what I'm talking about. It never worked this time. It will never work all the time. But tip and run, man. Tip and run. And if you are tipping and running, they're going to bring in the field. And when they bring in the field, you go over the top. Patrick Lambert said, I voted for Lewis, but they could have shared it because Moti falls short of the 5 wicket, which is equivalent to 100, and Lewis was 6 runs short. That's a very good point that Patrick Lambert is making. It is usually said that 4 wickets equivalent to 80 runs, 5 wickets equivalent to 100 runs. So it's a very good point you're making. Goolie comes in, bowls to Solozano, swept, dropped that backward square leg. So he swept that and he was dropped that backward square leg. Down on one knee, swept it straight to the field, that backward square leg. That's a dolly. And he dropped the catch. Nonetheless, he got a singer as Ambris came through. That is Tion Webster who dropped the dolly at backward square leg. 52 for 2. Ambris on 17 comes back into strike. Goolie over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who played just a short mid-wicket, and there is no run. Goolie over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, clipped it away this time to the right of the man at mid-wicket, but he still cannot score as the fielder moves smartly to his left. It was a dolly. Tion Webster probably was playing for the cameras. Over the wicket come Goolie, bowls to Ambris, who cut this away. Cannot beat backward point. The score remains at 52 for 2 in over number 16. Goolie in his 8th over. More than likely, they are going to bowl him out here now. Over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who covers up and played it back to the bowler, who field no run. 8 overs, 1 for 21, and he should have had another wicket. Well, one delivery to come in over number 8 for him. Comes in, bowls to Ambris, and Ambris turn it again to the right of mid-wicket, cannot score. The score remains at 52 for 2 after 16 overs. Goolie, 8 overs, 1 for 21. 1 for 21, Goolie, from his 8 overs. Patrick is saying, I have no idea of Trinidad dishes in St. Lucia. No way. Okay. So no way do they eat scorpion in St. Lucia. Yeah, but he did say that he was only bantering, which we appreciate. We love the banter. The banter welcome every day. People fail to realize the Lara ground is difficult for scoring and is a 50 over game. You have more time than you think. That is true, Ashik. That is true. That is why I am suggesting that you try to push the ball in the gap and run. You know nowadays they'll call it tip and run. Pierre over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who's off the back foot, and he pierced the gap this time. It running away to the boundary. It gets there now. Lovely shot by Solozano. Not Ambris, Solozano. He was off the back foot and he just rocked back. And he played it a little later. That was what was very important. He played it later than usual and he pierced the gap between cover point and short third man. Maybe. Was there a mistake on the part of the fielder to be in front of square instead of behind square? Very interesting. Very, very interesting there. Pierre to Solozano down the pitch, drive down to long on for a singer. The score moves up to 57 for 2. He's on 17 now from 44 deliveries. Ambris is on 17-2 from 27 deliveries. And with just 16.2 overs gone, they need us to rotate the strike. And that's a very good point that Ashik Mohammed made, Pierre bowls to Ambris deep in his crease. Ease it away down to long on for a single. The score moves up now to 58 for 2 after 16.3 overs. So every delivery in this over thus far had been a scoring delivery. Over the wicket, bowls to Solozano, who plays a forcing shot down to long off for another single. So they are doing it good in this over. No dot ball thus far. 4-1-1-1. Pierre round the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who cuts this away straight to the man at the edge of the circle at cover, and there is no run. Backward point he is, sorry. 59 for 2. That was the first dot ball in the over. Pierre round the wicket, comes in, bowls to Ambris. Ambris off the back foot, beat the short mid-wicket, down to long on for another single. 8 runs from this over, well played by the Volcanoes in this over. That pushed the score up to 60 for 2 after 17 overs. 60 for 2 after 17 overs. Ambris is on 19. Solozano is on 18. Goolie, who have bowled 8 overs, 1 for 21, will continue. So Michael Douglas is saying, Trinidad prefer to keep Solozano out there. Well, I would too. I would definitely love to. That's a good point. No doubt, Michael Douglas, that's a very, very, very good point. Goolie comes in, bowls to Ambris on the back foot, strokes it to mid-wicket, can't score. The score remains at 60 for 2. I think Ambris need to hit Goolie over deep mid-wicket for 60 now. Goolie comes in now, bowls to Ambris off the back foot. He works it away through square leg, down to that fielder coming off the backward square leg boundary. They get a single. The score goes up to 61 for 2. Ambris moves up to 20. Solozano moves up to 18. 17.2 overs have been bowled. At this stage, Goolie appears to be bowling out. Anderson Phillips, 1 for 20 from his 5. Goolie round the wicket, bowls to Solozano. Good shot that. He stand up in his crease, played it down through mid-on, down to the fielder on the long-on boundary for a single. That's a good shot. I love that. Only a single, but it was always going to be a single. And he maneuvered the crease quite well there and played it down to long-on. Goolie over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who drives with more intent, down to long off. Work for the fielder. He has to come to his left, and they come back for 2 comfortable runs. The score moves up to 64 for 2 now. So there was Ambris just coming onto the front foot, and as he played it, look at the wrist moving. You see that wrist moving, guiding the ball away from the fielder and going down to long off. Goolie bowls to Ambris, who played it to mid-wicket, and again, there is no run. The score remains at 64 for 2. Goolie grips the ball as he comes in now, bowls to at Ambris, who turned this through square leg for another single. And so the score will now go up now to 62. Is it 62 at the end of the over? I think so. I think it is 65 at the end of the over. 65 for 2 at the end of 18 overs. Ambris is on 23. Solozano is on 19. Goolie 1 for 26 from his 9 overs, and I think that he will bowl out. I think so. If I'm a captain, I'm not going to take him off at this time. Ashik Mohammed is saying, West Indies batsmen need a bit more patience. Rotate the strike in the longer version. I agree with you. And I think they know that they need to rotate the strike, But they just can't do it. They just can't do it. They just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to move to flex their wrist. They don't know how to cushion the ball. They don't know when to force the ball. They don't know how to maneuver the crease. Talking to Dwight Chateau the other day, and he said that he thinks that the players, they know all of that. If they even know that, they can't do it. So if they know it, it makes the situation even worse. Because if you know it, why don't you practice to do it? So that makes the situation even worse. Off the back foot goes Solozano and pick the gap in the offside down to the boundary for 4 as Pierre was shot outside the off stump again. And he rocked back and stroked it most elegantly through the covers down to the boundary for 4. Lovely shot there, Solozano. Well played. And they put the, interestingly there, they put the man to backward point this time and he played it forward of point. So he's playing well now. Pierre bowls to Solozano down the pitch, driven magnificently through the cover for 4. Lovely shot by Solozano. He came down the pitch and he drove it all along the ground magnificently down to the cover boundary for 4, beating the sweeper to his left. What a lovely shot there by Solozano. As the man at extra cover dive, but he could do nothing about it. And the field and the boundary was beaten. Balls to Solozano, deep in his crease, force it through mid-on for a single. He now is beginning to pick the gap, and lovely to see this though. Lovely to see this from Solozano. So he's finding his rhythm, just spending time at the crease, you know, and it's spending time at the crease. But instead of blocking, he should have been rotating the strike, as that one was guided away by Ambris to the man at short. Third man. The score is 55 for 2 at the end of 19 overs. Ambris on 24, Solozano on 28. My good friend John P. Nicol, how are you, man? Good morning. When I see John P. Nicol, I get nervous, you know. Nervous. Dr. Brown, I supported the decision in naming Moti man of the match. When you are on 94 and you get out going aerial for a 6, the thinking powers are lacking. I understand that. I understand that, John P. Nicol. I can't blame you for those comments. You know, those comments. John P. Nicol, is that really John P. Nicol say something that I would say? Off the back foot goes Solozano, cannot beat point this time, and there is no run. So Goolie in his final over, 1 for 26 from 9.1. I wonder if it's somebody using John P. and John P. account and saying that. Round the wicket, bowls to Solozano, down the pitch, played it to long on for a single. This is good from him now. 29 from 52 deliveries. The score moves up to 76 for 2 in over number 20. I am scratching my head here, you know. And I'm telling you the truth. I'm not quite sure John P. Nicol is John P. Nicol. Pulled away, beat the short fine leg down to the boundary for 4. So that was a nothing delivery by Goolie. He's probably tired. This is his final over, 9.3 overs. That Silva is very disappointed. He's distraught, and I asked him, what are you doing? It was really a nothing delivery. Or was it the fielder short fine leg who dived over it? Because he clearly should have stopped that. Look at the fielder short fine leg. So probably that Silva is really disappointed with the field that short fine leg instead of Goolie. Goolie to Ambris, short again. Can't beat mid-wicket. Should have done better with that. Should have done better with that. It was short. It was a long up. It should have been gone out of the ground. 80 for 2. 2 deliveries to come in over number 20. 80 for 2. I'm still sort of taken aback. Goolie bowls to Ambris, who played it to mid-wicket again, and there is no run. This is poor from Ambris, you know. You cannot allow Goolie to be bowling the same delivery to you all the time and you're playing at the same place. Goolie bowls to Ambris, who turned this away to the left of the short fine leg fielder. There is no run. So Goolie have completed his 10 over spell, 1 for 31. And after 20 overs, the Windward Islands Volcanoes been asked to bat are 80 for 2. Goolie 10 overs, no maiden, 1 for 31. Ambris is on 28. Solozano is on 29. So I'm here scratching my head because that last part, when you're on 94 and you get out going aerial for a 6, the thinking powers are lacking. I can't believe that the great John P. Nicol is saying something that I would have said. I don't think it is him enough. And if it is John P. Nicol, I would recommend that he go and get a checkup. Because John P. Nicol don't say things that I said. Is it really John P. Nicol? John P. Nicol don't do things that I do. Oh my Lord. Is it really you, John P. Nicol? Thank you for coming. Welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. Happy for you. Turn away down to backward square like the fielder comes in shy at the stump. There's no run. Cariah into the attack. There's a single. 81 for 2. Welcome, John P. Nicol. Welcome to the club. I'm so happy that you have come to the club. So very happy. Good to see you here, man. Happy for you. John P. Nicol. Only John P. Nicol and I know. We are friends. Don't worry about it. We are big friends. So Cariah, who I was told was turning the ball square in the previous match. Let's watch and see what he will do. Ambris comes in to strike. He's on 28. Solozano is on 30. Over the wicket comes in bowls to Ambris, who pushed this into the offside. Run, tip and run, as I said. So 2 consecutive tip and run here now. 82 for 2. So you see, so those 2 boundaries by Solozano and the fact that he started taking the singles, all of a sudden, 30 from 53 doesn't look as bad as 17 from 47. So that's why it is very important that you just get going. That would have been very close though. Cariah bowls to Solozano, who comes on the front foot and played a test match forward defensive shot, goes back to the bowler, and there is no run. Solozano secors. Cariah. He's coming over the wicket. It's over number 21. To the left-handed batsman who played it back down the pitch, and there is no run. Solozano is also a Trinidadian, but has been drafted by the Windward Islands Volcanoes. He's a Trinidadian. He was a part of the West Indies A team that played that Curry Gold cricket match against South Africa when they were here in the Caribbean. Cariah to Solozano, swept it away. Down back with a square leg. Fielder comes around, didn't pick up clearly, allows the batsman to come back for 2. The score moves up to 84 for 2. Solozano now is on 32. I think ever since he got dropped by Tion Webster backward square leg, which was really a dolly, he has started now to score more freely. Like you have said that, well, this is my second opportunity, so I'm going to score more freely. So good to see. So Cariah is going to come over the wicket. Comes in, bowls to Solozano. Off the back foot, he strokes it to cover. And there is no run. After 21 overs, the score is 84 for 2. Ambris on 29. Solozano is on 32. Windward Islands Volcanoes were asked to bat first. 4 runs from that first over of Cariah. Michael Douglas said that Solozano using his feet is good to see. Yes. Both batsmen are set now, and rotation should be easier. Boundaries will come. I think they are showing too much respect to bad deliveries, though. Yeah, there are a number of long ups that should have gone all the way. Absolutely true, Michael Douglas. Absolutely true. So 21 overs, 84 for 2. So Patrick is saying that John P. Nicol, good point. But Lady Luck was on his side and he was trying to get century in grand style. Okay. I would have Incidentally, last night, 30% said that Moti should have been the player of the match, and 70% said that Evan Lewis should have been the player of the match. To me, I don't think that vote was along country line, because if it was along country line, I think that Moti would have win. And I'm very happy to see that the vote was what I would call a fair reflection of the thought process that went into it by this community. Terrance Hinds now, though, is over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who forced it down to long on for a singer. So Terrance Hinds, who was a part of the West Indies T20 squad that toured Sri Lanka last month. Yes, it is now last month. Today is the first day of November. So it is now last month. Interesting. Terrance Hinds. Very interesting. Who's going to be in that T20 squad? Who's going to be in that T20 squad? Very interesting to see who will be in that T20 squad. Wow. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to see that T20 squad. Will Byran be there? Will Maya be there? And if they are there, who will be left out? Tucked away by the left-handed Solozano straight to mid-wicket. Ambris backing up too far. The return came in, hit him on his body. No damage done. The score is 85 for 2 after 21.2 overs. So, very interesting. I'm looking forward to that squad. But I don't know if I have time to pick a squad. Well, maybe I have to find time to pick a T20 squad. Very interesting. Over the wicket, bowls to the left-handed Solozano, who guided it into the gap. And he bent his knee, used his wrist, and guided it into the gap. So they are listening to me. Someone have their phone on in the dugout and are listening to me and send out the message. So you need to guide the ball in the gap and run. You just don't need to be playing those big booming drive and picking out the fielders. So that's nice. I'm very happy to see that just now. I think that's the best shot he have played since morning, you know. He concocted his body in such a way to ensure cut away, pass backward, pointing to the boundary for 4 by Ambris. Terrance Hinds was short outside the half stump, and he cut it away, pass backward, point to his right into the boundary for 4. Lovely shot by Ambris. Hinds short, and he cuts it away. Lovely shot and he cut it to the right of the backward point so that he played it early. So 2 deliveries to come in over number 22. Hinds over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who played this out into the covers, and there is no run. I think Atanese is going to find it very, very difficult to get into that West Indies squad for the T20 series against England, especially if they bring back Edmire and Byran. Well, Edmire should be there. He's playing in the ODI. That means he's available. Byran is in Trinidad conducting a clinic tomorrow. So I think he's also available. I need to pick a squad, I need to pick a squad sometime Sunday morning. Over the wicket comes Hinds, bowl to Ambris, who played this down to long on for a singer. The score moves up to 91 for 2. So I'm going to pick a squad Sunday morning, because tomorrow morning, West Indies playing England, and that's an all-day match. Starts at 9:30 in the Eastern Caribbean, 8:30 in Jamaica. So that's an all-day match. I will be with you all day. I don't think I'll be commentating all day. I can't do it unless I have help. So the score is 8-22 now. Hopefully the analysts tell the left-handers that they could use their feet a little to Cariah, because he bowled very full and the ball will be turning into them because he don't bowl much, Goolie. I thank you, Michael Douglas, and you're fast becoming the analyst on this show. And so you're giving your analytic take on the situation. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. 22 overs have been bowled. The great Donald Popperman, good afternoon. Glad to have you here. 91 for 2 after 22 overs. Great Donald Popper, good afternoon to you, man. And you're saying that the Windward Islands will win. Very interesting. Very interesting there from you, Donald Popper. Short outside the half stump, cut away down to the field and the cover boundary by Ambris. 1 run to the score as Cariah was short there. The score moves up to 92 for 2. While I smile, Michael Douglas is just, I remember your quote just now, you're saying that, he tends to bowl full. But then there's always exception, isn't it? There's always an exception to the rule. Cariah, full, down the leg side. Wide should be signaled. Now it's signaled 93 for 2. So there he goes. There he goes, Michael Douglas, bowling wide, as that one was looked to play the way down the offside, onside. Cariah bowls short to Ambris. Use his feet deep in the crease, inside out, down to the field and the cover boundary for a singer. The score moves up to 94 for 2. Ambris is on 36. Solozano is on 34. So just using his feet there and playing it away. So Ambris comes back into strike. So Solozano will face just now. Cariah bowls to Ambris, who play this away down to long on for a singer. The score moves up to 95 for 2. Remind you that the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force would have won the toss and would have asked the Windward Islands Volcanoes to bat first. They lost Alec Atanay's bowled off stump again, caught on the crease, just push forward, never right out, don't know where his off stump is. Solozano clipped this down to mid-wicket for another singer. They come back for 2, a sloppy feeling by the fielder coming off the mid-wicket boundary, who just jogged in, allowed the batsman to come back for 2. The score is now 97 for 2 after 22.4 overs. Solozano is on 36. Ambris is on 37. So the first to go was Alec Atanay, who was caught on the crease, lost his off stump to Goolie when he was on 9. He had 2 fours. He was gone bowled by Goolie. Cariah bowls to Solozano, who comes back on his back foot and play that out into the covers, and they go through for a single. Well played, Solozano. He cushioned it. He didn't play this big booming drive, but he cushioned it and allows them to get a single. He moves up to 37. Both batsmen are on 37. 1 to coming over number 23. Ambris is on strike. Here is Cariah, tossing the ball from hand to hand. He comes in, bowls to Ambris, full pitch delivery, which he drives down to long off for another single. 99 now for 2 at the end of over number 23. So that run rate have ticked over 4.3. Not bad. I hope they hook the ante there. There's a live poll going on and the first option is, will they make less than 275? Just give you an update on the other match. Leeward Islands Hurricane made 284 for 5, with Justin Greaves making his second century of the tournament, his second consecutive century. 284 for 5. That's what the Leeward Islands Hurricane made. And Barbados in reply are 90 for 3. The batsman out is Lenilko Boucher. He was bowled and caught by Jeremiah Louis for 4. Hinds comes in, bowls to Ambris, who played this down to long on for a single, brought up the Windward Island Volcanoes 100. So 100 for 2 in over number 24. Demetrius Richards was caught by Jamar Hamilton after bowling for Shane Thomas for naught. Zachary McCaskey was caught by Jamir Hamilton off the bowling of James. What's James' name again, man? James, the off spinner, is a good batsman. Can't remember his first name at this time. But James, he went for 28 from 38 deliveries as Solozano tipped and run, looking to run, but was sent back by Ambris. The score remains at 100 for 2. So Zachary McCaskey was caught by Jamar Hamilton off the bowling of James for 28 from 38 deliveries. He hit 4 fours. Kevin Wickham have retired, not out. He has been, don't know the issue there. He was 22 from 29 deliveries, having hit 3 fours. Cut away, down to the boundary for 4. Lovely shot by Solozano as Terrance Hinds was shot outside the half stump. He bent the left knee and then steered it away past backward point, beat third man and into the boundary for 4. Lovely shot there. 104 for 2 in over number 24. Outside the half stump, giving room, and he played it away sweetly down to the boundary for 4. He moves up to 41. 3 deliveries to come in over number 24. Ambris is on 39. Solozano is on 41. 12 fours and no sixes. No 6 in the innings thus far. But 12 fours. So they're making an adjustment here now. They are pushing back the man on the backward point boundary. And they are bringing in the sweeper to orthodox cover. So is he going to go short? I'd prefer him to pitch up the ball. Let's see. In bowl, short, dabbed away, down to third man for a single. 42 now. 105 for 2. Windward Island Volcanoes. Don't like the idea of putting the backward point on the boundary and taking the sweep off the boundary and putting him at extra cover. I would want my bowler to be pitching up the ball. So Kevin Wickham have retired. This is in the Barbados match. He was on 22 from 29 deliveries and would have had 3 fours. So Kyle Myers is not out on 13 and Naeem Young is also not out on 13. So they are 90 for 3. 90 for 3. They are 90 for 3 are Barbados at this stage. They are making some adjustment to the field there. And so they are now 93 for 3 at the end of 17 overs. Remind you that the Leeward Islands Hurricane made 284. Hinds bowls to Ambris, who played this down to mid-on. The fielder at mid-off had to come across. But by the time he got there, the fielder from long on came in and fielded at the edge of the circle. 106 for 2 now after 23.5 overs. 106 for 2, 23.5 overs have been bowled. 1 to come in over number 24. As Solozano now secures. Terrance Hinds not quite happy with one of the fielder who not staying in position. He looks up now and he begins to run in. Over the wicket, bowls to Solozano, guide this away down to third man. And that is what's going to happen. Once you remove the backward point, there's always going to be an easy single. You just dab it, you dab it, you dab it, you dab it all day. All right, so 1 more to the total there. So Donald Popo is saying, good afternoon, Carlton Brown. I read that one already. He had said that Windward Islands will win. Dre is saying, is it a concern that our test captain isn't playing in the competition? Well, it's not a concern to me, Dre, but I am just one person. Other persons may have other opinions. You may think that he should be playing. The Barbados Pride don't think that he's good enough to be playing. So they are not going to pick him. That's the situation. It's the same board. It's the same Barbados Pride that he played for in the regional first class season. So they don't think that he's good enough. So for me, it's not a concern any at all. Not one bit. Nonetheless, I respect those who think that he should be in there. But for me, he should not be. Well, not that he should not be. Let's just say it doesn't concern me. Cariah to the left-handed Solozano down the pitch as Michael Douglas suggested. but he cannot beat mid-off, and there is no run. Should have done better after reaching the pitch there. Much better. He probably lifted his head a little too early. The score remains at 107 for 2. We are in over number 25. Cariah over the wicket, bowls to Solozano, goes deep in his crease, turned his true square leg for a singer. Pierre comes around to his right, uses big size 15 shoes to stop it, and they got a singer. 108 for 2 in over number 25. So Ambris, who is on 44, comes into strike now. Solozano is on 44. Ambris is on 40. Cariah bowls to Solozano, who goes deep in his crease, stands up tall and played it down to long on for a singer. 109 for 2. 24.3 overs have been bowled. 109 for 2 here now. Ambris is on 41. Solozano is on 44. Cariah in his third over, 2.3 overs, none for 14 as they make some adjustment in the field. Cariah bowls to Solozano, who lean forward and then rock back and look to force it through the offside. Got a bottom edge down to backward square leg for a single, 110 for 2. So he leaned forward at first and then he came on the back foot. He rocked back and looked to play a forcing shot inside edge, down back with a square leg for a single, 110 for 2 now. Ambris on 41 comes into strike. I saw 4 Trinidad and Tobago spectators just now. Cariah bowls to Ambris short, pulled away, down to the mid-wicket fielder who came across, stopped it, but couldn't find the ball. That is Goolie, and it allows them to come back for 2. So 112 for 2 now. Ambris moves up to 43 from 53 deliveries. Solozano is on 45 from 69. 1 delivery to come in over number 25. 112 for 2. Ambris, Seckers. This is Cariah third over. He comes in, bowls to Ambris, pitched up, and he looks to swing that away, bottom edge, through to the keeper, no run. The score remains at 112 for 2 at the end of over number 25. Ambris is on 43. Solozano is on 45. Cariah, 3 overs, none for 17. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force won the toss and asked the Windwards to bat first. Michael Douglas think, Puran for Athanaze, Edmire for Fletcher, Hussein for Hinds, and if Rossi is fit, maybe he will replace Shamar Springer. Yeah, Kofi James. Thank you, Michael Douglas. Wow. So Puran for Athanaze, Edmire for Fletcher, Hussein for Hinds, and if Rossi is fit, maybe he will replace Springer. But I'm going to pick my squad on Sunday. Let's see if it is close to yours, but I don't see Russell playing. I don't think Russell is going to play. So after 25 overs, the score is 1012 for 2. 1012 for 2. The last time we checked in Barbados Pride, they were 93 for 3. They are now 96 for 3. 96 for 3. And I'm trying to find out what happened to Kevin Wickham. Trying to find out what happened to Kevin Wickham here. I'm not finding out. So we are 112 for 2 here. So they are 96 for 3 after 18 overs. Still in the game. Myers and Myers is batting. Let's watch there. They're taking a long time to set the field. Terrance Hinds. Over the wicket, bowls to Solozano, cut away through backward point again down to third man for a singer. That was in the air, but it doesn't matter to him because he knows that there's no backward point. Naeem Young and Kyle Myers are batting. So both will need to bat very deep. Ambris is on 43. Solozano is on 46. 113 for 2. Hinds over the wicket, bowls to Ambris, who play this into the onside, tip and run, and goes through for a singer, as Jangoo was at mid-wicket, cannot prevent the singer. And the score moves up now to 114. So 114 for 2. This is what they said I am saying that they should have done. Tip and run, and when the bad ball comes, you put it away. So Ambris moves up to 44. Solozano is on 46. 114 for 2. Hinds over the wicket, bowls to Solozano, dabbed it away again, through where? Backward point. The field on the backward point boundary comes in, send the return in. Another singer. You can't play. You're just, if you are going to bowl outside half stump, back of a length, you can't play the cricket without the backward point. It's so I know it. It's so I know it. You can't play it without the backward point if you're bowling hard length and trying to attack that half stump, top of half stump, fourth stump. You must need a backward point. And so they're going to milk you through their whole day if you don't move it. Hinds to Ambris, and Ambris turned this away, down backward of square leg. They could get 2 here. The fielder comes around to his right field. Let's see. Yes, they are back for 2. The score now moves up to 117 for 2 in over number 26. So 2 deliveries to come in over number 26. Ambris is on 46 now. Solozano is on 47. And I recall saying that you cannot write off this Windward Volcanoes team. They bat very deep. Very, very deep. So I was saying that I saw 4 Trinidad and Tobago Red Force spectators. 4. And they are fretting. And I don't know why they should be fretting. It's just 117 for 2. I don't know why they should be setting. Over the wicket comes Hinds, ball short to Ambris, pulled down away, down to backward of square leg for a singer. The score moves up now to 118 for 2. So the Windward Island Volcanoes are 118 for 2. Ambris is on 47, so too is Solozano. Remind you that the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force would have won the toss and asked the Windward Island Volcanoes to bat first. So we are over number 26. 1 delivery to coming over number 26. Pitched up, driven to the man at backward point now, and there is no run. I told you, get the man at backward point. 118 for 2 after 26 overs. Michael Douglas is saying that I don't see Russell playing also. But let's see. Springer will remain when Russell is not playing. All right, those are your views. Thank you for your views. So Barbados Pride have now moved up to 101 for 3 at the end of 20 overs. So they need to get 185 more to win, 84 more to win off 30 overs. So that's how 6 runs and over. So they need to go at 6 runs and over to win. So Kyle Myers is now on 19. Naeem Young is on 16. Remind you that Kevin Wickham have also retired earth on 22 from 25 deliveries. He hit 3 fours. I am trying to find out what's the real issue is with Kevin Wickham. But no message. I've not gotten a reply as yet. So I'm trying to find out what's the real issue with Kevin Wickham. Definitely trying to find out what's the issue with Kevin Wickham. Oh, you said 12 for 2. Oh, yeah, 112 for 2. Thank you very much. Oh, Dan Dada the Great is here, man. Big up yourself, Dan Dada, man. Dan Dada, the general, man. Dan Dada. Big up yourself, my general. One love. One love to you, my general. One love. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. I'm not getting any reply, so probably I'm going to make a call to someone who is down there. Why is that? Trying to make a call to find out what's the situation with Kevin Wickham, who have retired out. Not out, sorry, he have retired not out. He has retired hurt. So I'm trying to get through here because so just showing. Is it another drinks break after at 26 overs? 118 for 2 after 26 overs. Atanase made 9. Hodge made 12. So I'm not getting through. Look, no one has taken my calls this morning. 26 overs have been bowled. 26 overs have been bowled. Is it another drinks break? Surprise, surprise. So there's a drinks break after every 13 overs. Indeed, they are going very, very slow. Very, very slow. So Mikel say, yes, Mikel, yeah, man. I'm top of the score. All right, so you are not answering. Let me see if this person will answer. They have not. Person's probably busy. I've got no reply. So we are back here. If I got a reply about the situation with Kevin Wickham, I will update it. I will definitely update it and let you know. So Cariah to continue. This is over number 27. He has a short third man at cover. A mid-off, a mid-on, and a mid-wicket. He comes in, bowls to Ambris, who hit this in the air, over the top, straight to the field, and the long off boundary is out. The drinks break works. So Ambris goes for 47 after 26.1 over. 118 now for 3. The Windward Islands Volcanoes losing their captain at 118 for 3. It was a good partnership between those two. 118, what? It's almost, no, it wasn't 100. So I'm trying to remember the score when he got out. Yes, Dan Dada. Really, thank you very much, Dan Dada. Yes, this is a regional one-day match. Thank you, my brethren. He's reminding us that it's very important that we click on that thumbs up button. It's right below the screen. It's free to subscribe. Doesn't take a second. It's free to subscribe. You just click on it once. And so the drinks break resulting in another wicket here. Is it that it is hot why they're taking the drinks break after hour? Because usually, I think it's an hour and 10 minutes. In one day international, in 50 overs cricket, it's an hour and 10 minutes. So you take it somewhere between the 16th and 17th. It's usually 16 or 17 overs. So that Shadrack Descartes to come to the crease now, and he's coming off a half century in the previous match. 60. I think he made 60. As Ambris was looking to hit that over the top. You know, nice pleasing shot, but it never came out of the screw. It went straight to the fielder at long off to be out caught. Shadrack bowls to Cariah, played it back to him, and Cariah took the return catch. 2 from 2 here as Cariah comes in, ball to Descartes, and he played it back to the bowler who took the return catch, and the Windward Island Volcanoes have lost 2 wickets in 2 consecutive delivery. 118 for 4. Cariah is at a hat trick. Descartes just came forward and said, here's a Christmas present, Cariah. He just tap it back to him. Look at that. He just tap it back to him and, oh no, I got it all wrong. It's Jeremiah Solozano ran out. Cariah dropped the catch and the ball ricocheted onto his hand. What am I looking at? Oh no, I got it all wrong. Oh, I'm wrong. So Descartes tapped the ball back to Cariah. Cariah should have taken the catch. I thought he'd catch it, but I lost sight of the ball. But it didn't. It ricocheted off his hand and onto the stump, and both batsmen are gone. For 47, both Ambris and Solozano are gone. So the drinks break accounted for both batsmen who put that partnership together. This is high drama at Brian Lara Cricket Academy in this West Indies CG United Super 50 cricket match between the Windward Islands Volcanoes and the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. They were 118 for 2 at the drinks break. The very first delivery of the drinks break, Ambris looked to go over the top and was caught on the long off boundary. The second delivery, Descartes played one back to Cariah in the air, who should have taken the catch. The ball came off his hand, ricocheted onto the stump, and Solozano was out of his crease, backing up too far. I think he looked a little lazily, though, in getting back into his crease. Cariah comes in, bowls to Descartes, who played it down the pitch to the bowler who field, and there is no run. The score remains at 118 for 4 after 26.4 overs. So look at this now. That's not the picture I want to see. Straight back to him, should have taken the catch. Look at Solozano. Look at him. Oh my God, isn't this chap lazy? Disgraceful from Solozano. Cariah bowls to Descartes, looks to sweep. Bottom edge, out, caught. Brilliant catch. Descartes is laughing because that was nowhere near the bat. At least that's what he's implying. Let's see it in slow motion. Did the umpire got it wrong? High drama here. The Volcanoes are falling apart. That doesn't look like it came off the bat to me. But let's wait and see. I want to see it in slow motion. That never came off the bat to me. Never looked so. The Windward Islands Volcanoes, they are falling apart. Wow, 3 wickets in this over number 27. Wow, what is happening to the Windward Islands Volcanoes? Let's check up on what is happening over there with the Barbados Royals. Naeem Young have been out for 20. He was bowled by Durham. So Durham bowled the left-arm orthodox spinner who played for the Netherlands. So Naeem Young gone, bowled for 20. So the score is now 105 for 4 in over number 23. So Durham picking up the wicket there of Naeem Young. Daniel Durham. So Dylan Douglas, who made 90 in the match on Tuesday to help the Windward Island Volcanoes beat Guyana Harper Eagle. This says, I really want to see that dismissal in slow motion. Cariah bowls to Douglas, who played it back down the pitch at the end of a very eventful over number 27. So Ambris tried to hit Cariah over the top, only succeeded in picking out the man on the long off boundary running to his left. who took a good catch, not a difficult catch, but the work had to be done, and he moved smartly and got to the catch. The very next delivery, Descarted topped the ball back to Cariah, who should have taken the catch. It ricocheted off his hand onto the stump, and Solozano, in one of show you how lazy these guys are, just stood there and allowed the ball to hit his stump, although he knew it was outside of his ground. He made no effort to get back into his ground. I know many batsmen would have even dived to get back in his ground. Once I see the ball coming back to the bowler, your number one priority is to get back in your ground. Terrance Hinds bowled to Springer. Springer played this away to the man at backward point, and there is no run. Then 3 balls later, Cariah bowled a Goolie to Descartes. He looks to sweep. It goes through to Da Silva, who took the catch appeal, and Nigel Duguid sent him on his way. I don't necessarily think that he was out, but I need to see a slow motion replay. Hinds bowled to Springer, clipped this through square leg down to the fielder on the boundary. The score moves on from 118 to 119, and I'm sure the Volcano supporters are very, very happy. Very, very happy that they came off 118. For 3 wickets fell at 118. 3 wickets fell. Nigel Duguid, Michael Douglas is saying that you can't trust Nigel Duguid. Probably that's why he was removed from the international panel. He made so many mistakes. So 119 for 5. He's no longer a part of the West Indies international panel. Terrance Hinds. Over the wicket, bowls to Douglas, who clipped this away in the air through square leg down to that same fielder again on the boundary. And they got another singer. So both batsmen are on one. They will need to rebuild right now. They'll definitely need to rebuild, as this is really putting them in a position where they cannot go with the acceleration that they were expecting to. At 118 for 2, you would have expected that they will accelerate, but 3 quick wickets. Over the wicket, bowls to Springer, who works that to mid-wicket, and there is no run. So he works that to mid-wicket, and there is no run. So the score remains at 120 for 5. 120 for 5 in over number 28. 27.4 overs have been bowled. Hinds. Over the wicket, bowled to Springer, and Springer is bowled right through him. And the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are wrecking havoc here, as Springer played all around that one, knocked back the stump, and he's out bowled. So Springer goes bowled, and the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are making mincemeat now of the Windward Islands Volcanoes batting. Springer played all around that one. So last I checked, as Patrick Lambert is saying that Barbados will win. Let me see now. They are Barbados Royals. They are 121 for 4. Kyle Myers is not out on 31. I think Kyle Myers coming in at number 5 is saying to the West Indies selectors, I'm no longer interested in opening in ODI cricket at least. I want that position at number 7 there. Yes, I think Kyle Myers, I've looked at it. And he said, you know that Romario Shepherd is struggling at number 7. And I will provide a 6 bowling option. I need that number 7 spot. And I would not be surprised if Kyle Myers should make 100 today. So Kevin Wickham have come back. So thankfully, Kevin Wickham have come back. So he's now on 26. and he have hit a 4 since he has come back. So he have it 4-4 now. So glad to see that the reason why he had retired out wasn't serious. So he's back. So Patrick Lambert saying Barbados will win, though I'm not supporting them. Outside the half stump through to the keeper, there is no run. 120 for 6 after 28 overs. Barbados will win, though I'm not supporting them, said Patrick Lambert. A warning to Athanaze. You must tighten your belt because your pick is hanging on the high tension wires. Thank you, Patrick Lambert, for that comment. It's coming from the Bible now. He's a man from the Bible. It's from the Bible. Big up Donald Popper. Respect, man. Appreciate it. All the best. So 120 for 6 after 28 overs. 2 overs to go. 2 overs to go. As watch Cariah now. Bowls to Douglas. He's in. Bowls to Douglas, who played it to the man at backward point. There is no run. 120 for 6. So Douglas is on 1. Ryan John, who is no mug with the bat. He can give it a real big hit. So Cariah, 4.1 overs, 2 for 27. The right arm leg spinner comes in now over the wicket. Bowls to Douglas, who dabbed this pass first slip. It's running away down towards third man boundary. It won't get there, although the fielder, that's Ottley, just ambered after it, and they come back for 2. A better fielder would have restricted that to 1, but he just came back up. He just ambered after it. And that delivery from Hinds, Terrance Hinds, came back through the gate and pinned back the stump, and Springer went. Douglas is on 3 from 4 deliveries. Cariah over the wicket, bowls to Douglas, and Douglas clipped this through mid-wicket for a single. And they're coming back for 2. No, they decided against it. As the fielder there was playing possum, waited for them to come back for 2. You know, he was just playing possum. He just jogged out after the ball like he cannot get to it. And then as soon as the batsman turned for 2, he sped up, collected it, sent the return in. But luckily the batsmen, at least one of them, were looking at him. Cariah comes in, bowls to Ryan John, who drives, can't beat cover, and there is no run. The score remains at 123 for 6. So Cariah in his 5th over. And he has worked magic here for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. He's once again proving a little unplayable. So he comes in now to bowl to Ryan John. He's in, bowl to John, and pitched up, and John played it away down to backward point for no run. 1 delivery to coming over number 29. 1 over to go after this one. Just 7 deliveries remaining. Slip goes down as Cariah comes in, bowls to John, who played this down the ground. The field that extra cover came across and prevented the single. So 2 for 20 from Cariah, 5 overs. So 5 overs, 2 for 20. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Force won the toss and asked the Windward Islands Volcanoes to bat. And after 29 overs, they are 123 for 6. So 123 for 6 is a Trinidad and Tobago Red Force at this stage. And the Barbados Pride are 127 for 4 after 25.1 overs. Remind you earlier, Justin Greaves made 100 as the Leeward Islands Hurricane made 284 for 5. Barbados in reply are 127 for 4. And in this match, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force won the toss, asked the Volcanoes to bat. And they are 123 for 6 as Hinds bowls to Douglas, who turned this away, beat mid-wicket. They're gone for 1. They should come back for 2. Yes, they are coming back for 2. They got it They got them comfortable. The score moves up to 125 for 6. So Arjun Sharma said, mediocre batting again. West Indies domestic international cricket seriously needs batting reform. I think it's high time to import coaches from India, England, Australia if local coaches are not able to improve. Over the wicket comes Hinds, bowls to Douglas, who guide this away down to backward point. Good movement there by the fielder going to his left. There's no run. The score remains at 125 for 6. Good afternoon to you, Stephen Russell. Have a blessed day to yourself too, man. Have a blessed day to yourself. As Douglas seconds now, Ryan Hinds is going to come in. Goolie, who ball is 10 over on the track, picked up 1 wicket. Here is Terrance Hinds, who was on the West Indies T20 tour of Sri Lanka. Bowls to Douglas, who hit it over the top, down towards long off for 4. So Hinds pitched up, and Douglas, who is in a rich vein of form, having made 90 in the previous match, just hit that over the top. It was really a nothing delivery. Look, it just floated up into the drive, and he hit it over the top, down to long off for 4. Lovely shot there by Douglas. He moves up to 10. So that was a lovely shot. The score moves up to 129 for 6 in over number 20, over 30. 29.3 overs have been bowled. As over the wicket, bowls to Douglas, who edged this away down to third man for another 4. So Hinds pitched up. The batsman looked to dug out the Yorker. It came off the outside edge, past the keeper, down to the boundary for 4. Let's look at this. It was outside the half stump. That Silva should have caught that. Oh, that Silva should have catched that. It was outside the half stump. That means he saw it all the way. The batsman tried to dig out the Yorker outside edge, and the Silva never even make an effort. Oh my Lord, disgraceful. Hinds over the wicket, bowls to Douglas, who cut this away. Down to third man. Work for the field on the third man boundary, moves to his right. In the meantime, they come back for 2. The score moves up to 135. So 1 delivery to coming over number 30. So Patrick Lambert is saying, I believe Nigel was competing with the bowlers to see who would take more wickets. By the way, how many have you taken? I'm alone, so I will have taken all of them. No, 5. I didn't take Athanaze. As Hinds bowls to Douglas and he defends. After 30 overs, the Windward Islands Volcanoes asked to bat first by the Trinidad Knight Riders. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are 135 for 6. And in the other match that started earlier this morning, Leeward Islands Hurricane, they made 284, and the Barbados Pride in reply are 136 for 4. In that 284 for the Leeward Islands Hurricane, Justin Greaves made his 2nd consecutive century. Kyle Myers is not out on 41 for the Barbados Pride. Batting with him is Kevin Wickham on 31. So in this match here, the late match, the 2nd match, after 30 overs, Windward Island Volcanoes lost the toss and were inserted by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, are 135 for 6 after 30 overs. I'll be back with you for the closing stages of the match. Until then, have a good afternoon. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Bye for now.